The question asked is, why is the mind so fickle? We fall down. I learned something in childhood, like ABCD or multiplication table. I never miss it. But spiritual teachings, I'm able to understand, but I'm not able to hold on. So this is the question. So now you have to understand gross, subtle, and causal aspects of life. Three dimensions are there. Gross is available to sense organs, subtle is available to the mind, causal is available to the intellect. And each of them is more and more subtle and more abstract. From gross to subtle is more subtle, subtle to causal is more subtle, but more subtle or abstract. From concrete to abstract, understanding is required. Spiritual teachings are start from the concrete or gross, go down to the level of subtle, and then go to the level of causal. Until the causal ignorance is removed, the teaching cannot be held fully. Teaching doesn't go deep. Causal ignorance has to be removed, self-enquiry or surrender. Till that time, understanding is at subtle level or gross level. The problem with the gross level is our senses operate in the gross world. Everything in the gross world appears to be more concrete. The truth is subtle. Truth is very subtle. So subtleness is overridden by the grossness of the world. Even though we say Jagat is Mithya, Jagat's world is unreal, the sense organs it appears to be real. The subtle truth is overridden by the gross sense inputs. So that's why mind is not able to hold on to the truth easily until you go deeper from concrete, from gross to subtle to causal, and get the causal ignorance removed. So that's why the mind is very subtle. Mind slips off, falls from the truth. Any questions?
Yeah. Yeah. So I understand that from the gross, the understanding has to go to the subtle, and from the subtle to the causal.
Yeah.
So what is the type of practice that when I am listening to your lecture, to your class, there is a lot of meaning and sense, and I definitely appreciate whatever said I understand. But the moment I come out of that class, there is no remnants of anything.
Yeah.
Uh, it is just why is that not turned into application immediately?
Yeah.
What is the
So
practice that
basically,
is
you have to
required
tell
there
them.
at that moment?
So
Gross to subtle people.
the question you are asking is, when I'm listening to the teachings, it happens to be so clear. But the moment I come out of the teachings, okay, the teachings disappear, the world takes over, Maya takes over. What is the practice required? So the practice required is, I have told many times, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. Listening to the teachings, contemplating the truth, so the truth goes deeper and deeper. Nididhyasa is very important, where you are holding on to truth, and deep rooted subconscious impressions come. You have to hold on to the truth so that subconscious impressions come and disappear, and truth becomes stably rooted in your subconscious, and finally causal ignorance is removed. So Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa is a key practice, or we can say self-enquiry is also a key practice. Who am I? Becoming aware of who am I at any point of time is an important practice. Or surrender is also a practice. Accepting whatever comes in life as a blessing of God is a practice. So three types of practices are there: Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. And then next comes self-enquiry or surrender. Then another important aspect is our mind is always outgoing. We want to get some happiness from the objects of the world. So for that we need to do work. The work itself has to be converted into a sadhana, a practice. So that can be done through seva, service. Work itself has to be converted into worship. So that way, 24 hours a day, we can engage in spiritual reality. Any questions?
Yeah. So what you said is, so we established is that in the core of the essence of the teaching.
Yeah.
So does this practice help Prabhuji, where the class is going on, and as soon as the class is done, there should be some 4 or 5 points, which actually there are every class. There are some points which are like take home. There are a few points which need to be kept on, contemplation.
Yeah.
Contemplation in the mind.
Yeah.
So maybe the last 10 minutes, maybe a silence would help, where those 5 points are totally noted in the mind, and then they are we try to think it with those.
Okay. The summary which I am saying, Atmanu mokshartam jagataya, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa, followed by seva, service, is the spiritual life. Life has to be converted to spiritual through these practices. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa, self-enquiry or surrender and selfless service is the way to get established in the truth. So you are saying after each class, a few points of take home has to be contemplated and some amount of time has to be spent in silence. Fair enough. That's fine. So you can spend some time in silence, but when I do the class for a large number of group of people, sometimes time may be running out. So my class is over. You can note down the key points and spend some time in silence. Why the mind is fickle? So there is another answer for that. The mind is constantly looking for happiness and try to avoid suffering. What happens is that very fact of getting happiness also brings unhappiness, because happiness and unhappiness are duality. So suppose I get a job, it gives me happiness. Immediately I'll feel unhappy because my salary is not good enough. So chasing happiness brings unhappiness also. So what's happening is the mind is constantly switching between happiness and unhappiness, trying to find something to hold on permanently. There's nothing to hold on permanently. Everything is temporary. So real permanent is the self. So until we realize that, the mind will be fickle.